Hello, everybody. This is Fernando Pettineroli, a listing agent with Desert Platinum today. My office is my balcony, like most of Americans, uh, transferring work and family all together to our homes. We need to invent new spaces. Uh, and real estate headlines today, they give room again to coronavirus. That is becoming a very, very, very serious issue. It goes now beyond whatever that was expected. A baby boy and a 2-year-old girl just tested positive for coronavirus in Broward County, confirmed by officials. These calls again for all of us to avoid social contact. I'm right now at 627, and I can see uh, Collins Avenue completely open with lots of traffic. Only right now started to decrease a little bit the traffic, but until 5 minutes ago, this was an avenue of trucks, construction, a lot of activity really for a place that is being bombarded by a pandemic. Uh, right now, between Miami-Dade and Broward, more than 600 cases confirmed, and obviously it's a tremendous, tremendous worry for all. Now, children are also being so, of course, all our lives are changing with children at home for several days, for a long time, most likely. And that's why I call my friend Chen Bitton to the show to help us out on this. Chen, how are you? How are you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hi, Fernando. I'm so glad you're doing well. And thank you for doing these episodes for everyone, for giving your time to, I guess, keep us in the loop and bring people on that can make things better for all of us.
So Chen is not just an artist, a very well-known artist, but also is the founder and CEO of paintingpicnics.com. That's a wonderful company with a great program. And that's why I called you, no, not as an agent, not as an artist, but as somebody that can bring us advice about how to deal with having the children at home. It's so hard for them to be locked down, basically.
Yes.
In your experience, what is the best that you can tell us about this moment that we're living right now in worldwide?
Yes. We are all struggling with being cooped up at home with our family. As much as we know that to be a wonderful time, it's a challenge when we're not allowed to really leave the home, and we are not used to this type of life where our businesses are closed. The only stores that are open are like Publix or Whole Foods, and we're really left in our homes to kind of entertain ourselves. So I never had a problem, Fernando, with entertaining myself. So I'm glad that I can offer everyone some tips on how to pass the time. So I've created a list of a lot of different tips for all different ages that can help us come together in this time of social distancing, and also bring us together and center us and allow us to pass the time in a joyful way.
Uh, Tip number one. What to do? Tip number one.
Okay, so tip number one, everyone is an artist. It's time to explore and have fun.
I like
I
that.
think right now the most important thing to do is realize that when we don't have something, it doesn't mean that we are lacking. We could find beauty and richness in everything that we do. We can create art using tea bags. So if you don't have a canvas and you want to create something fun with your kids, you can literally just take a sheet of paper instead of a canvas, like printer paper, and you could dip different tea bags in tepid water, and you could see what different tea bags, what colors they create, and maybe you could turn white paper into like a really cool old style type of paper that you can draw on or write something on as a letter or a story on a cool surface that you made yourself. That's tip number
With
one.
Chen, number one. And with Chen Bitton, artist, CEO of paintingpicnic.com. Arts in our area. I'm a friend. And you can place your comments, by the way. You can place your comments in Facebook Live or in YouTube Live.
I'm going to
or
show
questions. Yeah.
I have some paper here, and I have the tea bag, and basically all I'm doing is I'm tapping it down on the paper to see what color comes out of the tea bag. Now, another thing you can do is there are actually artists out there that draw on top of tea bags as a canvas. So, you don't necessarily have to have a canvas in order to create art. You can even draw on a window. Now, like, let's say you're visiting somebody who's really sick and they can't see you, Fernando, right?
Yeah.
But you can see them through the window, right? So maybe you could take, if you happen to have some, tip number 2, this is for the older folks that we're visiting and we can't, get a hug or, give them like a warming, loving feeling. Maybe you could take a chalk marker and you could draw on the window something, and then they could draw on the other side of the window. And so you could, even though you're distant from one another, you could be creating a collaborative art piece together and communicate in that way as well.
That's cool.
And of course, you could.
What I like that you need to do, that you showed me earlier, is the bowl.
Oh, okay. So the meditation. Okay, so yeah, so this is a bowl. It's a Tibetan bowl, and it makes a beautiful sound. If you have kids that want to try it, this could be a really fun activity for them. They can take the bowl and see what sounds it makes, because these are sounds that help us with meditation, and we can focus on how we can make a sound to promote healing and send positive vibes into the world, especially now when the world needs it the most. So I will show you how I do this. Basically, I take the side where it has the felt side of the wooden stick, and basically all I do is I gently hit it to start the sound, and then I basically create sound as I make it go around. So we could close our eyes and we could meditate on how we want the coronavirus to go away and how we can send that energy into the world and hopefully bring back peace, love, and happiness to all beings that are struggling at this time. And so sometimes I meditate before I do my art. It's kind of helping me to decide what I want to paint or what color I want to use and what emotions I want to invoke in my art. So that's the meditation aspect. Sometimes you don't have to be an expert to meditate. You could just close your eyes and let your thoughts drift by until you get to that space where your thoughts are just standing still. And the in-between is the time that our brain takes a break from all the thoughts. And right now, everybody's experiencing a lot of high anxiety and stress. So if you take the time to meditate, it can really help everyone, even kids. Even if you could get them to sit down and breathe in and out. You can even take them outside, sit underneath a tree and listen to nature and breathe and meditate, and until you feel good and calm. And then you can combine that with different types of art activities that you could do together with everyone at home or outdoors. So I think, I don't know if Fernando is here, so I'm going to go on to tip number 3. Tip number 3 is if you don't have any art skill, none whatsoever, you don't want to sketch, you don't like to sketch, you just want to express yourself, and you don't have a paintbrush, and you possibly might not even have paint, or you do, you go to your fridge, you can pick up some fruits and vegetables and you can cut them and make different shapes out of them. For instance, an apple, I
That's
cut
fantastic.
it in half. You could see that it has a flower in the middle. You could see it. And this actually, if you take this apple and you dip it in some paint, what you want to do is make the paint so you can actually saturate whatever it is you are holding. So you'll get the apple, you might want to hold it with a little top and then kind of dab it in the paint. So you see how I'm dabbing it in the paint right now.
Uh-huh.
And then you could just swoosh it around, make sure that it gets saturated in the paint. Basically, just make different shapes with different items in your house and see what type of effects you can make with different fruits and vegetables. Maybe a cucumber, make circles.
I love that.
Do this with kids. Just kind of cool to see what shapes the different fruits and vegetables can make. You can use, bananas, whatever it is, lemons, whatever fruits and vegetables that you have, potatoes, to kind of like create like an abstract art piece with the kids at home. So that was tip number 3. Okay. Tip number 4, I actually made these icicles in the fridge using water. These are like food coloring. Just mixing food coloring with some water and freezing them into the little ice cubes. The kids love this. Basically, once they get frozen, you can pick up an ice cube and you can use it. If you don't have paint, you can basically use it on your paper and you can make art with it. If you have canvas, then you can also use it on canvas. I'm just getting a canvas. You can also use it on canvas. And the kids love this activity. They love to see what shapes the ice can make. So they can just make it move around. They can make any types of shapes they want and have a good time with a different type of medium, with a different type of colors that you have the ice cubes in. Maybe they could draw something underneath it and decorate it with their food coloring. So that was tip number 3 or 4. I don't know. I'm losing count. Tip number 5. I have an art studio in Fat Village, and basically there's other artists that have art studios here. It's an art colony. And what my neighbor did with her granddaughter was she actually created a butterfly. Her name is Michelle Youngblood Miller, and her granddaughter is 7 years old. And what they did is you could just take 2 pieces of paper. You can cut them into any shape you'd like. Then you take the paper that you made, and you just make sure when you glue them together with Elmer's glue that you leave a little hole in the middle right here for a straw. You can take a straw and you can put it in between the 2 sheets of paper like this. So you make sure you leave room for the straw to go in, and then the kids can basically blow on it so it flies away. So it could be like a rocket, it could be a butterfly, it could be any shape the kids make it. They want to make it an airplane, whatever shape they want to make it. This is a really fun activity. You can take them outside and they can play with this and have fun. Woo. So I think that was tip number 5.
My connection went offline for a moment. Number 5.
Sorry.
Okay. the elves are not helping me today. My connection went off like 2 or 3 times. Just I get back just in time. Let's get things recovered. Uh, we're watching the best tips available for art to have the children at home, and Chen Bitton is helping us with this today. I don't know why. Maybe they're getting home and we are losing connection so easy to the internet. I'm going to try to reset.
Okay.
Change comes back. Of course, everybody worried in Miami-Dade, in Broward County with our current situation. To come back in in March with 40 is back. Chen is back.
Fernando, can you hear me? Sorry. Can you hear me? Fernando?
We're gonna have to
Okay, I don't know if people are still watching, but I could talk about tip number 6 on the list. Let's see. Has anybody ever made paper machete bowls? Those are actually very basic and easy to make. Basically, all you do is you take a bunch of paper, any paper that you can find. Toilet paper is probably a very big commodity right now, so you don't have to use toilet paper. You can actually use old newspapers. And what you do is you cut them up into strips inside of water. You let them soak. And then after they soak,
okay.
you can put Elmer's glue on top of, the strips of paper. And you can take any container that you have at home that's like a plastic container. You can saran wrap it. And then you basically take the pieces of paper that have glue on them and you stick them all around to the different surface that you choose.